Now, I'll tell of the Battle of Hastings, as happened in days long gone by, when Duke William became King of England and Harold got shot in the eye. It were this way. One day in October, the Duke, who were all a set off, having no battles on at the moment, had give his lads day off. They'd all took some boats for to go fishing, when some chap in Conqueror's ear says, "Let's go and put breeze up, Saxons." Says Bill, "Me, that's a good idea." Then turning around to his soldiers, he lifted his big Norman voice, shouting, "Hands up, who's coming to England?" That were all swank, because they'd no bloody choice. Well, they started away about tea time, and the sea were so calm and so still. And at 9:45 next morning, they arrived at a place called Bexhill. King Harold come up as they landed, his face full of venom and hate. He says, "If thou's come for a regatta, thou's come a fortnight too late." At this, William rose, cool but haughty, and said, "Give us none of your cheek, and you'd best have your throne reupholstered, for us be wanting it next week." When Harold heard this here defiance, with rage he turned purple and blue, and shouted some rude words in Saxon, to which William answered, "On you." Now, it were a beautiful day for a battle, and Normans set off with a will. When both sides was duly assembled, they tossed up for top at fill. King Harold, he won the advantage. On Thilltop he took up his stand, with his knaves and his cads all around him, on his horse, with his hawk in his hand. Now, Normans had nought in their favour. Their chance of a victory were small, for slope at field were agin them, and wind were in their faces and all. And kick-off were sharp at 2:30. As soon as the whistle had went, both sides started bashing each other till swineherds could hear 'em in Kent. And Saxons at best line of forwards, well armed with both buckler and sword. But Normans at best combination, and at eighth time neither had scored. So Duke called his cohorts together and said, "Let's pretend that we're beat. Once we get Saxons down on level, we'll cut off their means of retreat." So they ran, and Saxons ran after, just exactly as William had planned, leaving Harold alone on the hilltop, on his horse, with his hawk in his hand. When Conqueror seed what had happened, a bow and a harrow he drew. He went right up to Harold and shot him. He were offside, but what could they do? Then Normans turned round in a fury and gave back both parry and thrust, till the fight were all over shouting, and they couldn't see Saxons for dust. And after the battle were over, they found Harold so stately and grand, sitting there with an eye full of arrow, on his horse with his hawk in his hand.